Okay, folks, good morning and welcome to Swing Trading Today. This is Bob Desmond, and it is 5:01 in the a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's get to it. Um, Last night we had some earnings out of Visa, which was hammered. A little bit of a pop off the lows this morning, not much. AMD also announced. I have no idea what these numbers look like. I know AMD has just been on a tear of late. One of our viewers has been asking me about it for a while, so we've been tracking it pretty closely for the past several weeks, and we've been noting. If you take a look, let's go to a monthly chart of AMD. You know, you take a look at this chart over the course of, you can see how much work we've done here. Over the past several months, all this topping action on a monthly chart, you would swear that in all probability you're going to get a failure at some point in time. No, that's not what happened. It ripped. Good morning, Oliver. It ripped. So back to AMD. It's even higher than what we just saw on the monthly chart. It's extended here. Let's face it. It's extended. I think that those that are looking to buy, they're going to have an opportunity soon where they're so inclined. But very good price action here. We spiked up higher last night, and we held those gains. Who else reported? Starbucks. Nah, RL, no. It's a bit extended here. I don't like to chase. Right now, let's go by the monthly chart really quick. Where's the upper band of the 3D Bollinger? It's not giving me a price point. Hold on one sec. All right, so this is better. So if you think about it this way, I'm not saying that there's not more upside from where we are poised to open up this morning. All right, this is the wrong chart. All right, so we saw a high last night of 75, actually overnight, 75.48. Where's our third standard deviation Bollinger Band? 75.56 if you look over here in red. So it's extended. You need to wait for a reaction to the downside, support to get hit, whether it be at 47.50, not 47.50, it's not going to make it down that far. Probably not, unless you're correct. 59, potentially. That's the next really good support level. Yeah. And look at where we tapped last week, 3D Bollinger. Again, this week just shy of it. I wouldn't chase it here. Too much risk, not enough reward. Remember, this is yesterday's closing price action, not reflective of where we're trading after hours, which is going to be up here. Easily up and into the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. Good morning, Jedi. Good question. Because Intel, I don't think it's seen a reaction to the upside since earnings. Yeah, I think there is, but I think we need to be a little bit more patient here because we're not at a support level just yet. You know, arguably, I manually drew the support level the other day. This is 49.38. Arguably, might we be at a support level if we bounce back by the end of the week? Sure, but we need to bounce back first. We need to show that this is going to be respected. At current, it's not a support level that's being respected by traders as it's closed down below it. So the question then becomes, what's our next support level? Because you need to assume that this is going to fail. $48.53, interesting. So, pardon my spelling there, folks. Ugh. All right, so this would be for a, as it stands right now anyway, a short-term bounce. So 48.50 looks interesting. You know, ideally, and it so rarely happens, is that we get an extreme oversold condition. Have we seen one in the past year? And what I mean by extreme oversold is that, you know, you might argue, you know, isn't RSI down below 30 extreme oversold? No. What I like to see is RSI well down below 20. You know, Intel, you know, if you get RSI 15, 17 at around at a significant support level on a weekly, monthly basis, that becomes interesting. But these Stokes are weak and getting weaker. Volume, you're seeing considerable institutional distribution still. Do I want to get ahead of this freight train? Not right now. $47.76 would be interesting. The real sexy number is right down here, $44.91. Because what that marks is a flirtation with the recent lows. You know, whether or not we get there, not quite sure. The market will guide us. But there's a trade to be had, just not right now. I want to be very, very deliberate here. NY Jets. By the way, I know you are a runner. Have you tried intermittent fasting? Yes, I have. I'd go on the 16-hour plan. It's a little rough at the beginning. Yeah, I have tried it. I haven't. I have been extremely undisciplined with my diet of during these past couple of months. So while I got back on the track, and I do laps when I get back from the track in the morning in the pool, it's still not doing the trick because you know, diet is everything, really. When it comes down to it, diet's everything. So I have. It works very, very well. You know, Joe Rogan turned me on to it. Well, I don't know Joe Rogan. I watched his show, and he was talking about it a while ago. So I figure that come September, October, I'm going to do the Sober October challenge again. And I usually, October of last year, I dropped 10 pounds, just no carbs and no alcohol whatsoever. And I even extended it into November, a brief while. And I call that Dry-vember. But the key is no carbs as well as no booze. Okay. We'll come back. We'll do a couple more chart requests. I got to check the members portal to see if they put anything in there. But while I wait for that, let's get to the pre-market activity. What I found most, this is a 4-hour chart. These are all before hour charts. What I found most interesting this morning, not surprising, but interesting, was the dollar had broken down yet again. And we are now at 93.52. We were down lower earlier, bounced a wee bit. But the thing I found interesting is that, this is the first chart I brought up. What I found interesting was that you didn't see a huge rally. Well, it's picked up a little bit of steam now. But you didn't see a huge rally relative to what we've been doing of late in gold versus where we were when I went to bed last night. So the reaction by gold hasn't been huge to the increasing weakness in the US dollar, as you might expect. However, what did bid, although they're coming off the highs now, are the Nasdaq 100 futures. They spiked a bit. We're up just shy of a third. We were up higher. Let's stick with equities for a moment. The Russell up spot 2.6 this morning. We have exposure here, and we'll be keeping an eye on the 1460 mark on the Russell very, very closely. I didn't like that fade yesterday, and the reason why I began with the dollar is, and I also want to go to bonds, is I'm wondering if we're now beginning to see a correlation or an inverse correlation with the dollar and equities. And tomorrow night we'll be doing Thursday night stock charts live. And I'm going to bring up a chart of a correlation between the dollar and equities. There may be none thus far, but I think yesterday provided our first bit of data on a potential inverse correlation, which I like to track very, very closely. Talk about nerdiness. So back to the Russell 2000. We're bidding on what may be dollar weakness, which could be viewed as the market's liking a weak U.S. dollar in the face of our ability, or not in the face of our ability, in the ability of our companies to be able to export, making our products a bit more affordable overseas. That's what the weak dollar provides us, although it is inflationary. Now, the 10-year yield is pulling back this morning. The 10-year bond is pulling back. That means yields are rallying. And this may be influencing the price action a bit on gold and why it's not capitalizing even further on a weak U.S. dollar. It's kind of stalled out. So we'll keep an eye on this, because what we want to do is, if we see, remember today's a Federal Reserve meeting, if we see a spike in yields, then we want to take a look at the banks. Is there a trade to be had there? Maybe. But only if we see a spike in yields. And that may be a lot to ask for. But how much interest do you think there would be by a reporter asking the Fed chairman what he thinks about gold at all-time highs during today's press conference? I bet he shrugs it off. Because once gold begins to rally, it's very difficult for them to hide the fact that what they're doing is inflationary. Especially when gold's at all-time highs. E-minis. Possible W formation forming here. Lagging the Nasdaq 100, no shock there. Lagging the small caps. Back to gold. Again, still hovering here. It'll create alert. Okay. Silver. A complete and utter monster. It's still moving up higher. Now, we've been lucky of late. We shorted silver last week. We shorted the miners this week. Both profitable trades. We weren't foolish enough to stay around long. We scalped. We moved on. If you want to argue, this is probably a more accurate read of silver. So we're breaking out yet again. We may get a pullback and a retest, but silver's still looking like the monster it's been. Starbucks reported after hours yesterday. Powerful move. Penn National Gaming. It's in a strong consolidation range. But it's a consumer discretionary. I like it. But if the market goes, expect the discretionaries to take it on the chin. Anybody see the video out of SpaceX yesterday? Not SpaceX. I keep doing that. Virgin Galactic. I keep seeing SPCE. I keep saying SpaceX constantly. Pretty impressive, but they sold it off on the news of what their cabin looks like in their new space plane. And I really like their new CEO. He's out of Disney. All right, what else do we have here? Let's take a quick peek at ag. As a matter of fact, I want to take a look first at Nat Gas, because Nat Gas was building up some steam. I want to see if we follow through. Where are my Nat Gas futures? Yeah, look at this. When was this? This is yesterday. We spiked up. Or is this today? It's yesterday. Nice breakout on natural gas. All right, let's take a look at ag. We'll just go with corn or wheat, whatever one we see first. Oats. Consolidating. Corn. Gave up some of its gains. Okay. Not much going on in the ag front. Protein front. Protein building up steam here. This is cattle. Consolidating nicely. Looks like we're going up higher on protein. Let's go do some chart requests. Go to my ticker cloud. Roger Facebook. Okay. Somebody else just requested Facebook. Boeing. Okay. Beta Sparky. Hey, how you doing, Beta Sparky? Okay, let's do Facebook. Watch these shares today. Mark is going to be on Capitol Hill. Hey, Sam. I'm not going to say Sam from Italy today. I'm not doing it. I guess I just did. Beta Sparky. I'm not sure sub for sub means. What does that mean? Is that some sort of thing I'm going to get in trouble with YouTube for? All right. Facebook on a weekly chart anyway is showing a bit of weakness. We have a bearish reversal bar on the month. Oh, the week, I should say. Week. All right, so we're very close to a support level, the rising lower band of support. $225 to 220 looks interesting. We're 230 on the close yesterday. I think we go lower. I think we're going out to 225. Yesterday's price action was not wonderful. We had an outside reversal day. Stokes are quote-unquote oversold. but you can't trade just simply off the Stokes. RSI is trending down, and it has been trending down for a while. But frankly, to give it a fair shake, really you need to view this chart through the lens of a consolidation. We had a failed breakout back here, resulting in this current weakness. I think we're going to 225 a share. And Zuckerberg is not the best with his testimony, so he may provide that entry point if you're looking for an entry point to you today on a platter. Jedi, I was watching last night on Netflix a special about Wells Fargo. It was Dirty Money. And Kramer went from, the old CEO, went from praising him to bashing him. Now he's back to praising him. They pulled some pretty messed up stuff. NY Jets, no, I didn't see their comment on gold. Why is this? Okay. What do they have to say? I know Gartman was out saying sell gold or he won't buy gold or something to that effect. He was on CNBC, I believe, yesterday. I thought he retired. Yeah, we closed out yesterday at resistance on Euro USD. Very extended here. We're right there. They may spike it up higher. For an extreme move up higher, 118.9. But we're into resistance. Yeah, Kodak, I saw that move after hours. What are they? They're into pharmaceuticals now? They had to reinvent themselves. Pharmaceutical production? That was a huge move. All right. Boeing monthly chart. We're flirting with a rollover here. Yesterday was disappointing. At one point it was up over $3. It faded. And it still closed up. But you don't want to see a fade. You always hate fades. For disclaimer purposes, we are long, small position, opening position of Boeing. We'll be looking to add on strength, stop out if we continue to see weakness. Weekly chart. We're trying to consolidate here. $170.84 critical support. I like the Stokes. Look at this higher low, and it's been respecting the support level. Higher lows, RSI, weekly basis. Daily chart. Here was that fade yesterday. But we held support. But I'm not into averaging down a position unless, of course, we see a huge reversal off of strong support. I can't stand these Stokes. I mentioned this to members over the weekend. I said, be very, very careful of a fade this week, this coming week, meaning this week, given these Stokes, because they're down below 50, they are declining, and rallies tend to fade. Sure enough, this week, we've been nothing but fading. So I'm not ready to go adding more here. It is at a support level. It might pop up higher, but I would rather buy strength. I like to see these Stokes hook up and then add on strength. RL saying Boeing's going to gap down on earnings. WFC. So they're back in play, huh? My father was speaking about this the other day. It's showing bottoming action. There's no doubt about it. This is a monthly chart, Wells Fargo. No doubt about it. Bottoming action. Here's the May bottom. We may have a higher low here. I'd be interested in what the short interest is on Wells. Because if we get a spike in yield and they have a high short interest, then I would, or relative to their peers, they have a high short interest, then I'd be interested in it for a trade, for that short squeeze. Weekly chart. Oh, and by the way, for those folks out there not familiar with the charting software we're using, TrendSpider, automated technical analysis, there's a 35% discount link below. It's the lowest price you're going to get on the web, so take advantage of it. 35% off. Use the link below. TrendSpider. You should follow those guys on YouTube too. TrendSpider, at TrendSpider on Twitter. They put out a lot of content using the charting software, far more than I do. So we have a nice consolidation here. Well, this is looking interesting. I happen to like this. I haven't looked at it in a week or so. But we saw a reversal bar off of support the week prior to last, or I should say last week. Higher lows getting put in. Stokes, higher lows. RSI, higher lows. It's interesting. Yields are down. Yields are up, I should say. Bonds are down. Yields are up today. I don't think this is a bad entry point. Support is at 25.30. We closed at what, 25.43, 25.53. Daily chart. You see these volume shelves here, how they spike out? There's going to be a tug of war for a while trying to get through all of this resistance. But once we break out above Huh. What's this high here? 28.58. Once we break out above that level, you may see a significant move up higher on these shares. I like the Stokes. One of the things I look at on Stokes is when they initially rally, go above 80, and then you get that pullback. And what you look for is a flattening out and then a hook back up, just like you saw back here. Right? Exactly right here. It's like a right-handed baseball mitt. You have the thumb sticking out here, you have the four fingers over here. That's what that always reminded me of. And when a stock is topping out, you get the exact opposite. So I digress there a little bit. I'm getting long in the tooth with this commentary. Good day yesterday. These are raindrop charts. This is a mixture of a VWAP and candlestick charting. And you can see the close. This fat belly on the right side of this candlestick, that's the afternoon price action. Good volume into the close. That's what you want to see. Green and fat on the right side of the candlestick. I call it a pregnant candlestick. I'm going to create an alert just in case we manage to pull back. It's a long entry point, but it's also a stop point if we break down below it. And there we have it. Here's our upper band of resistance alert. We get a breakout. It'll be interesting as a long entry point or a place to add should we decide to buy down here. I like the setup. I think it's a good-looking chart, but it's a recovery play. And the key to the recovery plays is that they disappoint. They fade. You need to nibble, nibble, nibble. Don't go jumping with both feet or else you run the risk of getting stopped out. He did. I'm not sure whether or not Buffett still owns Wells after all of that controversy. That was a multi-year controversy. It's not his cup of tea to be involved with a company like that. Maybe. I'm not quite sure. And with that, folks, I'm going to say everybody have a profitable trading day. Please give us a like, subscribe, and I will talk to you tomorrow morning. Be well.